Good evening, good morning, good night, you lovelies. It is the one, the only Cappy D Barra, and we are here to talk about a couple of things, alright? The news has been a flurry, alright, for the past couple of days, and I would be remiss if I did not touch on this semi-briefly, okay? Some things that we're going to be getting off our chest. NXT was crazy. NXT was fucking insane this week, alright? The Creed brothers, alright, joined the Gallus brothers, alright? And they had an attack on the referee, forming this kind of super faction. It was insane. At least 8 different people a part of the Gallus and Creed brother. Oh, no. Okay, well, that didn't happen. Okay, but what did happen on NXT was Trick Williams. Trick Williams was confronted by Sami Zayn, right? And it led to an amazing future versus past 30-minute Iron Man match for the heart of NXT. Oh, no, that didn't happen either. Okay, what did happen?
With Blake, I like that hard landing.
Oh, she got all of that. Is it enough?
Oh, yeah, that's what happened, right? Yes, Thea Hale is our new NXT North American Women's Champion. This is very interesting. The IWC has had a lot of ideas about this. Some think that Thea was going into business for herself. Others think that Mariah may have suffered a brief concussion, or maybe just was a little winded. Others assume that the referee did what he was supposed to do because he just fucking felt like it, right? We have seen cases of referees not counting and how bad it looks on TV. So all credit where credit is due to the officiating in this match. What I can say though is that it was almost confirmed the second that this happened that this was not the play, this was not the call, and they had to scrap months of storytelling after this event. And honestly, I'm all for it, alright? Wrestlers going into business for themselves. Hey, not gonna lie, sometimes it pays off, okay? Thea Hale got one of the biggest pops of her career, and now she's getting and facilitating a title run. Okay, Thea Hale, amazing in the ring. I had her as an IWGP Women's Champion in my fantasy booking. So, this is all great shit. This is great shit for Thea Hale, and I know that she's going to make the best of this opportunity, despite the Fed's attempt to bury her, alright? Next, we are going to be talking about Sports Illustrated. They released a list, essentially, for, the best promotion, the best promoter, the best heel, the best faces, the best face turns, and it would be, it is in my due diligence to read at least half of this list. So let's get into it, alright? Sports Illustrated found that the promotion of the year is All Elite Wrestling. Alright, for 2025, the female wrestler of the year is Mercedes Moné. For 2025, the male wrestler of the year is Hangman Adam Page. For 2025, Tag Team of the Year, FTR. Something I've been telling you folks for a very, very long time. For 2025, who's the best in the ring? From Sports Illustrated, Will Ospreay. Ospreay in 2025. Right, best on the mic. Timeless Tony Storm, alright, 2025, Breakout Wrestler of the Year. Kyle Fletcher, alright, 2025, Storyline of the Year, Hangman Adam Page's Redemption Arc. 2025's Rivalry of the Year, Hangman Adam Page versus Jon Moxley. And 2025 Show of the Year, Double or Motherfucking Nothing. Alright, shout out to Sports Illustrated for doing their thing. There's also a couple of Federation mentions on here. Best heel turn goes to Naomi, the biggest of the big. This is the best comeback performer of the year goes to Ilya Dragunov. Of course it does. 2025 Legacy Award goes to John Cena. And lastly, Match of the Year goes to the Federation. Io Sky, Rhea Ripley, and Bianca Belair for WrestleMania 41. And that was the Sports Illustrated portion of this podcast. Shout out to Sports Illustrated. A lot of the marks out there are pretty upset about this, but we've been saying it for a while that AEW just puts on good television, and you can't be surprised when ESPN, when other journalists that cover sports media just have to look at the truth in the face and go, AEW is better, AEW, alright, these sports journalists don't care about your tribalism, anti-AEW agenda, right? It just doesn't fly in the face of reality. And I really hope that more people are going to see that, all right? Because AEW is just the better company, all right? Moving right along to our last piece of the news, John Cena, all right? Mr. You Can't See Him Yourself, did a pretty extensive interview with Cody Rhodes where they touched on some of the bigger things of his run, including Travis Scott, the heel run, and some of the bigger moments with with Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam and Brock Lesnar. John Cena, as we've covered before on this channel, has a really nice job of just making himself and the company look seamless and look like they've been performing and shooting off on all cylinders for the entire year. We all know that isn't the truth, but because John Cena is such an amazing orator and he has a way of just coming off as the calmest, coolest head in the room, it simply is not bad to listen to. Even though it is lies, it's kind of, brushing the truth under the rug a little bit. I will say it's John Cena at his apex, giving the fans what they want to hear when it comes to explanations and background and ideas on this heel run and everything after it. Even the face run, he really does try to save face. Again, 5-year ambassador, and he was just signed with him. So I don't know where this is going to go. Realistically, this could take the turn of Mick Foley when he just says fuck you and fuck that contract after Donald Trump goes to war with Venezuela, something that may or may not happen in the next 2 weeks. So, there's a lot of interesting stuff with this with this interview. He doesn't touch on a lot of the Vince McMahon stuff, but honestly, I would have loved a little bit of an explanation from that. Obviously, this is Cody Rhodes, so Cody Rhodes asking about Vince McMahon on a WWE platform probably isn't going to go as far as we all think it's going to go. All in all, though, that's all the news from this week, all right? And it kept me on my toes, to say the most. It kept me on my toes, all right? Again, big shout out to Thea Hale, and big shout out to AEW for sweeping at the Sports Illustrated Awards, I guess. All right, moving right into our Dynamite. All right, December 17th, 2025. These people are still over the pond, isn't it? Right, in the heart of Manchester.
It was a very interesting Dynamite, to say the least. I had a little bit of issue, bit of trouble catching the Battle Royal, the kind of Diamond Casino qualifier. I think that's what it was, or Diamond Casino official match. I'm not too sure what the kind of schematics were going into this, but what I do know is that is leading up to a match with Ricochet and Bandito. That should be heat. Bandito, easily probably wrestler of the year. So him going up against Ricochet, as I said, against Don Castle. Ricochet is just an all-around great wrestler. All right, the ROH champion going up against the National American champion. Just interesting. It's interesting. I'm not sure if he's the National Wrestling American champion, because I think that's NWA to an exact, but whatever. What I also really loved from this Dynamite is the opening match. So I think Jon Moxley has been putting on a clinic when it comes to matches. He has been non-stop, quite literally, since Wrestle Dream last year, and his run has been nothing short of phenomenal. Outside of the title competition, inside of the title competition, Tony Schiavone, encapsulates this perfectly. He is the only former champion in this C2 in the C2 tournament, right? And I think that just means a lot when it comes to his, and I think it just means a lot when this comes to his experience and his just power level in the terms of kayfabe, right? He puts down Roderick Strong with 2 insane fucking death drops, and it's crazy. They were crazy. Roderick Strong, though, an amazing technical wrestler. I really loved everything that he gave from this match, and he had the crowd behind him this entire time. But it's interesting, man. Even if he's a heel or even if he's a face, the crowd will be behind Moxley in some form or fashion, and you gotta love that. You gotta love the pillars getting respect. Speaking of pillars, we could talk on this next match with the Elite. All right, versus the Don Callis family. This was an amazing match, okay? The Young Bucks put on an absolute fucking clinic. I did say the FTR was the tag team of the year, but easily this could have gone to the Young Bucks. They are such a great fucking pairing, and they're back with Kenny Omega. It's fucking watercolors on canvas, right? It is a beautiful sight to behold. Kenny Omega, you know, they mentioned all of his, you know, prior injuries and his obstacles that he has had to conquer in the past, but he really does personify what it is to be resilient. I mean, they talk about his countless surgeries, his disc ferlitis, and he goes out there and he outshines everybody. He outshines everybody in that ring, maybe outside of fucking Mac Jackson, maybe outside of Matt and Nick Jackson, right? It is such a great match. I mean, Konosuke Takeshita, easily future world champion. Kashikore Okada, I mean, the kind of story that they're building with those two is obviously going to lead to a Continental Classic finale between those two, and oh, that's going to be fucking great. So excited for that. This is a great match. This is a great match. It was fucking insane, and the spots from literally everybody, including Hechicero, which was maybe one of the more technical people in this match, it was great. It was great, amazing showing from all, and we did see the Elite pick up the victory. All right, neither Okada or Konosuke got pinned, but those are just, you know, the perks of being champions, right? Really great match all around, and we also got Don Callis on the comms. Can't be too upset at that. All right, next match on the card. All right, we are going to be talking about the Babes of Wrath and the Wives of Love versus Athena and Mercedes and the Brawling Badasses and Megan Bayne and Marina Shafir. I adored this fucking match. There's a lot of critiques online that this match, you know, not for nothing, it was, right? All is fair in love and war. This is the only women's match on this card. Not cool, not the greatest. I also really don't understand where they're going with the whole tag team champions situation. The tag team champion and Willow Nightingale gets pinned, which, like, not a big fan of that. She also kind of no-sold the old phase, which isn't great for your Ring of Honor, like, forever fucking 1,000-day champion to have her fucking finish her no-sold. But what I will say is that everyone in this match carries the right amount of whimsy and the correct amount of charisma, right, to coast right through this fucking match. I mean, it's a real easy watch. I also really like the character work that Athena puts in anytime she's on screen with Mercedes. It's good, and I'm a fan of it, okay? Little spoiler, but Mercedes is said to be dropping the title on this week's Collision. I assumed that Collision was on the Holiday Bash. I thought it was a 3-hour thing. Maybe that's just a part of this, you know, recording being all fucked up. Who knows, right? Yes, but that was the Babes of Wrath and the Wives of Love versus Athena Mercedes and the Brawling Badasses. Okay, again, really nice match. Really nice match all around. I love Marina Shafir. Her shit talking is just it's excelled. It's great. It's really fucking good. And I don't know. Like, there's a lot of great things to say about this match. All right. And honestly, there's a lot of great things to say about these talents. Again, that finish was just a little funny. Okay. Last match on the card. All right. Well, second to last match on the card. Quickly, I didn't catch all of it, but Orange Cassidy versus Massacre Dorada. Great match. Orange Cassidy, again, one of my faves. Massacre Dorada, up and coming talent in this industry. We get Kyle Fletcher versus the Bastard Pac. All right, you know what's really funny about this matchup? Pac is very over in Manchester, as he should be, and Kyle Fletcher is kind of turned into like this super heel because he's already a heel, but you know, he's handsome as a fucking day is long, and he's very likable in that ring, very agile, like very agile. So it makes for just a great watch. But Pac, man, Pac, whatever you want to call him, man. He goes out there, he fucking performs in front of his home crowd. They love him. He also picks up the dub. The way he can get up and move in the air with the size of him being what it is, you know, at least like 100 pounds heavier than the last time we seen him on television. It's really some shocking shit. Like, it's really shocking. He hits a black arrow. I don't think we've seen him hit a black arrow in like, what, 7 months or something like that? 6-7 months? It's crazy. It's fucking insane. This is an amazing fucking show from Pac. I really appreciated also the kind of presentation of this match. You know, it was a Death Rider versus Don Callis family. This is something that they've been kind of breathing life into with, you know, the faction versus faction kind of collide that's on the way. I am really excited for that. I don't know when we're going to get it, but maybe like we get a 5v5 Survivor Series kind of situation. I don't know what we're going to get. Very happy for it though. I'm very excited for this match. I'm very excited for this Continental Classic to meet its end so we could finally see who the best of the best are between some of these folks. All right. Here's the current standing. I could put it up for you guys right now. It's really good though. Really great match though. And again, I don't believe this was the finale, but this is where we're going to be ending our review because that is all I have on this show. Okay. But this is a very great showing for Dynamite, and I'm excited for Collision next week. I really appreciated all the promos. Wait, huh? Oh man, I almost went off air without talking about the one and only. Huh. Maxwell Jacob Friedman. Where do we start? A lot of people, just with Jay White, have been assuming that MJF would be making some return sometime. Will be making a return sometime soon. He had that amazing match with Mark Briscoe and that fucking phenomenal match with Mystico the week before, and he took some real time off, and he came back and he stole the fucking show. He stole the show. He hijacked the entire talk of the fucking town, and it was interesting because I did say that, MJF stopped using shock value, just as Braun Breaker was using shock value in some of his promos against CM Punk on Monday Night Raw. But man, the shock value, it really does just add something. It does something to the IWC, and I don't know what it is. Even when Braun made those wife comments, it seemed like the overall consensus was like, oh, he's cooking, oh, he's finally found his groove. And it's interesting, right? Because MJF, he mentions the Fed by name. It gets a really negative reception, as they should. I popped for that, not gonna lie.
And you went to WWE. Take it easy. It's a perfectly good company, gang.
But we also see him mention Diddy, Puff Daddy, the sex trafficker, pedophile. It was interesting, and it upset a lot of people, rightfully so. A lot of people feel like, the mention of this is kind of simplifying his crimes and turning it into a joke, right? Making it lighthearted, the fact that he kidnapped and tortured women and men of color. I can say that that's a very fair take. I also can acknowledge that this is wrestling, so some stuff is just gonna get under our skin, some stuff isn't gonna get under our skin. This is one of the things that got under our skin. He did kind of put down the Fed, which is just like kind of balances all of this talk out. But I really didn't hate this promo. I think that everyone in this ring, from Hangman to Samoa Joe to Swerve, I think they had great interactions with MJF. I think their initial comments before MJF made his massive return and just took over London, I think that was also very, very positive. And I can say wholeheartedly that this should have been some kind of main event. I don't know if this was closer to the main event or what, but it was fucking worth it. All right, it was fucking worth it. I know that there's a couple of things I definitely missed due to me not being able to catch the Battle Royal. A lot of people are really big on Ace Austin, and there's some real conversations around the potential of Bandino and Ricochet, but I simply was not around to catch it. Very sorry, folks. But that was Dynamite Holiday Holiday Bash, December 17th, 2025. I had a pretty good time overall with this, as I do a good amount of Dynamites. What can I say? I like good wrestling, all right? I do want these stories to kind of go somewhere. The TBS title should be being defended from somebody. I would also love if I would also love the tag championships win against an actual tag team, aside from somebody who just got thrown together with somebody else, a la carte Megan Bain and Marina Shafir, right? And the tag team works, but where's the character? Where's the story here? Marina spent most of her time with the Death Riders, so is Megan, supposed to be seen in Vignette or sooner or later with the Death Riders? I feel like she should, right? Whatever, who knows? Maybe Marina Shafir doesn't want to mix her pot of friends, but there are definitely a lot of questions that I have going into this. But performance-wise, really good Dynamite. I can definitely say though, maybe on the surface level, I'm just expecting a little bit more from this promotion, but that's only because they've been firing off on all cylinders, okay, for a good amount of time. All right, I hope all of you have a great one whenever you're catching this. All right, we will be getting to One Piece chapter 1169 very, very soon. This is a lot to break down, so I just gotta get through it, but it was a really, really nice watch, and I'm looking forward to Collision. Left a good taste in my mouth for Friday Night SmackDown, so hopefully we get enough for that. And lastly but not least, man, big shout out to Thea, going into business for herself, my fucking goat. Okay, this has been your boy Cappy D Barrett, and as I always say, all right, stay safe, stay tuned, stay beautiful. All right, peace.